This is the CDJ3000X, the flagship media player from Alpha Theta, formerly Pioneer DJ. It's a follow-up to the CDJ3000 released 5 years ago to this date. Yup, it's been that long, and yeah, it does feel a bit weird saying that it's a 5-year-old device because it still seems quite fresh, though it's probably because the device dropped while we were all in isolation. In this video, I'll go over my top 3 main differences between the CDJ3000X and the CDJ3000, and later on, I'll give my thoughts on who it's for. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons if you're new here. Let's go. First up, we gotta talk about that huge 10.1-inch touchscreen display. It's similar in size to what you'd find on the XDJ RX3 and XDJ AZ all-in-one devices, and it's as responsive and nice to look at. New to the CDJ3000X is the playlist edit feature that lets you rearrange tracks and playlists on the unit itself. A huge part of DJing is about responding to what's happening on the dance floor, right? And what I love about DJing with a laptop is that I can do all of that playlist editing on the fly during the gig. That capability, it finally arrives on the CDJ. The 10.1-inch touchscreen lets you see more tracks simultaneously to minimize scrolling compared to a CDJ3000, and the on-screen keyboard makes for a less cramped song search and typing experience. Next up, let's talk about the connectivity options. The CDJ3000X comes with 2 jacks on the face of the unit, USB-A and USB-C for flash drives, and over here on the back, you've got USB-C for your laptop. SD card users, you're out of luck here, unfortunately, as Alpha Theta has decided to drop the medium. Also, if you've still got USB-B jacks, it might be time for an upgrade because, yeah, this unit uses USB-C to connect to your laptop. When the CDJ3000 launched, there was a lot of talk about why it was still called the CDJ, even though it didn't have a CD drive anymore. The 3000 is no exception to that. And I expect that to continue here with the CDJ3000X. But the truth is, the CDJ has just become a genericization for decks that DJs use. That said, I'd love to have a CDJ with an actual CD slot so I can play my CDs, you know, the ones stashed in my Case Logic binder from the 90s. I still have them. Maybe a CDJ3000 CDX in the future, right, Alpha Theta? Finally, let's talk about internet connectivity. So the CDJ3000X has an Ethernet jack for wired connections to other CDJs, an Ethernet hub, and the internet. And for the first time ever in a CDJ, it now has Wi-Fi. So this is meant to encourage the use of music streaming services like Tidal and Beatport, along with the use of online storage via Dropbox and Google Drive using Alpha Theta's own Cloud Library Sync. You can even play tracks from your cloud library using the Cloud Direct Play feature. Alright, so who's the CDJ3000X for? Well, flagship media players like this have historically been aimed at big venues, live sound operators, and equipment rentals, and that really hasn't changed. So if you factor in the cost of a pair of CDJ3000Xs plus a mixer like the DJM-A9, the price alone puts it out of reach for most hobbyist DJs, you know, live streamers, and even gigging professionals. If you really want a standalone system and you've got the budget, but you don't want to spend upwards of $7,000 for DJ gear, then you can get something like the XDJ AZ or even the XDJ RX3 for a more portable form factor. However, if you want the best of what Alpha Theta has to offer and something that you're bound to see and use at the world's biggest clubs, the world's biggest festivals, and so on, the CDJ3000X is the way to go. It's more evolution rather than revolution, and given how mature the DJ industry itself has become, incremental improvements like this are to be expected. For more details, check out the Alpha Theta site, and thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next video.